Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we are here for another episode, game recap, whatever you want to call it, of How About Them Celtics. I'm here with Jake today instead of Jack. Jacob first the floor. Jake, hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Things are good.
Oh,
The
what a
Boston
great
Celtics,
night.
baby. Let's fucking go.
This is what it's supposed to feel like to watch this team. This is the type of game that we all expected to see coming into the season. Obviously, we got it opening night, and then we got it again today. First and foremost, can you believe that this is the team that people thought the Celtics should be scared of?
I can't, dude. As long as the Knicks employ their two best players are guys that the Celtics love to hunt. Like, Jalen Brunson isn't even the biggest problem. Your biggest problem is Karl-Anthony Towns, because that dude just has no prayer of slowing down Jayson Tatum. Like, this is the matchup for Jayson Tatum. A big that can't switch and a big that cannot play in drop coverage either. Like, he's just a complete mess in the pick and rolls. And as long as that is a fact, this is going to be the funnest second round matchup, I think, of the Jays era.
I mean, they had no answer for Tatum today. We have to start there. By the way, if you didn't see the game, the Celtics won by 1 billion. They won by 27.
Yeah.
They were up by as many as 35, I believe. It was a blowout right from the beginning. They started 12-2 and only looked back a little bit in the third quarter. The third quarter, by the way, which they still won by 7. New York cut the lead to 3, and then the Celtics were like, oh, no, we're done playing around. And they scored like 49-25 the rest of the way or something crazy like that. And Tatum had 40 points. Tatum had 40 of the 131 that the Celtics put up on the big bad Knicks today. He was 50% from the field, 50% from 3, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. He was unstoppable. He was making me fucking giggle at my get together with my friends tonight that I watched the game on my laptop, giggling at some of the threes. He was making the threes that make me want to put my head in the microwave.
Yeah, the one that he hit with under 5 seconds to go on the shot clock on the right wing against Mikal Bridges that was just nothing but net was absolutely filthy. Yeah, look, Sam, I know you hate the threes, but this is why he takes the threes, because when they go in, you literally cannot beat the Celtics. So it's worth the risk of him going. That's the thing. In games that are important, he doesn't really get to 14 attempts unless they're going in. Which is why he only took 7 threes per game in the playoffs, because he didn't force it in most of the games where it wasn't falling. Once he realized tonight, often once he realizes that it's actually, that does get him into trouble sometimes, because he hits one and he thinks that he is on fire.
Watch this.
But ironically, the shots around the rim early in this game were the ones that he was having trouble with. A couple of missed layups, a couple of missed mid-range jump shots. But this is why you let him take these pull-up threes, especially against this type of defense, because they're not really bothering him. And so it's like, and that's why teams guard him in the way they guard him, because you can't allow this.
I mean, you knew it was going to be a bad night for the Knicks. The very first possession for the Celtics, Tatum comes down, catches the ball on the wing, drives past the defender, and murders Precious Achiuwa at the rim. And then later in the half, he drops him off the three-point line, breaks him all the way back to the paint, drills a three. Tatum was possessed today. You said it. Having Towns out there was tough for the Knicks. Jalen Brunson is somebody they hunted. Not to mention they had Mikal Bridges on Tatum for a good amount of that third quarter where he lit them on fire. And Bridges looked like the picture of Drake where Drake's trying to defend everybody. And he looks terrified. The Knicks gave 5 first-round picks for a guy that's playing fucking Dance Dance Revolution trying to guard Jayson Tatum. It was remarkable. He looked lost out there.
Yeah, he's like me when I've tried to learn how to do some of these foxtrot type dances. Like, I've got enthusiasm and rhythm when it comes to the dance floor, but as far as like technical execution when it comes to some of the more official dance moves, not my style. I'm never going to be someone who's got a high score on Dance Dance Revolution. Neither is Mikal Bridges, man. That dude's feet. Like,
tonight, maybe.
Maybe tonight he clocked his high score at the arcade, but man, he just has no chance. He has no chance. He's never been a guy with the profile to slow these guys down. And this is why I kind of laugh about the DeAndre Hunter thing as well. It's like, it's not about one guy. The teams that have been able to slow the Jays down have never really been about the one guy. It needs to be like a collective. You got to have multiple. You got to have like a 3-level defense. Like the Golden State Warriors team that really screwed with Tatum's head in the finals was Andrew Wiggins being like a good perimeter defender, at least for that 2 weeks. He played the best defense of his life. But he's also, if there's going to be somewhat two ends of a spectrum, you've got Karl-Anthony Towns playing drop coverage, and you've got Draymond Green playing drop coverage and switching. Bam Adebayo is another example. Those are the types of guys, types of defenses that can give Tatum trouble. Not a Mikal Bridges, who's actually not that big, not that strong.
Right.
Can't actually
Long.
get into Tatum's dribble. Yeah, like he's long, but he's like not bothering. Like Tatum's working through him possession after possession. Like it was a tough night for the trade of Mikal Bridges.
Very tough. Also, not for nothing, I feel like we saw Tatum dunk today more than ever.
Yeah.
He had 3-4 dunks. Just incredible.
Nice.
Just determination to get to the rim. Beating the initial defender, taking 2 long steps like he's Giannis, and getting to the two-handed jam. He was just, again, like opening night against the Knicks, one of the best Tatum games ever. Tonight,
He
up
upped it.
there, wasn't quite as good as opening night in terms of efficiency, but he was still just as dominant. He was murdering them. They had no prayer.
And I think if you were the Knicks coming into tonight, and if you were like not a casual fan, but you were just a fan of not the Celtics or not the Knicks, you were like coming into this game, the odds were pretty much even before KP got scratched. So I wonder if the Knicks were actually favored by the time the game started. But like if you were like just a basketball fan thinking about this game, Knicks had a couple days rest. I know there was no OG, but no KP, no Drew. You're thinking like that opening night, the Celtics like literally didn't miss a shot. You're thinking like this is going to be a much closer game. And you come away just thinking like they just don't have a chance in the matchup, specifically because Tatum is just so comfortable in this match. OG Anunoby didn't do anything on the opening night. I don't know. Then again, that's just not one. The one guy is not how you slow the Celtics down. You really have to have a complete defense, as we saw like the Oklahoma City game on the road. Like you got to have like a plethora of sturdy perimeter guys backed up by a really good rim protector.
Yeah, and the Knicks clearly were not equipped for Jayson or Peyton Pritchard for that matter today. We got red hot Peyton Pritchard for the first time in at least it feels like a little while. I suppose you could look at Thursday's game and be like, wow, he had 21 points or whatever he finished the night with, but it was phony. I listened to you and Greeny on the way back from the Garden. You guys were displeased with the timing of his scoring outburst. Tonight you got it at a pretty sick time. Time for Peyton Pritchard to be like, actually, like, you see my big bro over there? You can't guard me either.
Yeah, dude. He just kind of just did what Tatum did. Put the same guys in the actions and just was throwing lobs to Luke Cornett. And yeah, man, like my thing is you've got the green light, Pritchard. You've been empowered. You're actually letting the team down when you're not aggressive. And that's what frustrated me about the Mavs game. And it made me more frustrated when he came out and did it in garbage time. Because I'm like, we've moved on from that. You're this guy now. Be this guy.
Yeah, and it's almost like he heard you. Literally right from the get-go, aggression. I don't have like the split quarter by quarter, but from memory, the third quarter was just ridiculous from him and Tatum. Maybe it was early fourth quarter where he put the game to bed. I know he made that absolute bomb of a three when Precious Achiuwa fell down and then he stood up and tried to contest it when the shot was already gone.
Dude.
Pritchard is maybe the most fun guy to watch when he's on fire.
Yeah, so Tatum got subbed out with just under 9 minutes to go. And as soon as that happened, Brunson hit a jumper to cut the lead to 17. And I'm like, man, the Jalen minutes have not been great. Tatum's been so good. He essentially is the reason we're up 20. I was getting a pretty concerned, but Jalen came in and threw a lob to Cornet, I think. But that's when Pritchard really like made his money. He hit a pull up 2, pushed the lead to 19, forced to miss the other side. Then he hit the pull-up three, and the lead's up to 22. And at that point, with 7 minutes to go, the lead was essentially over. The game was essentially over, but it wasn't done. He had 2 assists to Cornet to push the lead up to 26. And I was like, look, man, we've seen some crazy shit happen in the NBA. The Celtics are a team that just cut a 26-point lead down against the Sixers recently. So to have him come in and not make Tatum come back in was just good. That's just good for the vibes, and it's just good for Pritchard to get a bit of a rhythm going again, man, because he was so good early in the season. Let's get him rolling again.
Yeah, this felt like very much early season Celtics. They won every single quarter. They shot 54% from the field, 49-ish% from three.
Yeah.
Like, this is the type of ball we all expected. This is what happens when they don't shoot like me and the boys on the perimeter. They shoot like the Boston Celtics. They go into MSG against the big bad New York Knicks and just embarrass them. Like, the fans were booing. The fans cleared out. The only person who stayed to watch the end of the game was Larry David. Big respect to him. Honorable Larry David. Honorable move from one of the great people ever to sit and endure the beatdown that the Celtics put on his favorite team. Also, massive in this game, the man, Derek White, has that incredible run in the third quarter. New York cuts the lead to 3.
Yes.
All of a sudden, he checks his pockets. They're full, starts unleashing the threes. He scored 8 straight points, or 11 straight, and then Tatum scored the next 8. I think the tweet I saw said that.
We've got the quarter by quarter now. If you want to refresh your NBA.com box score, just so you know. But yeah, Derek White, 14 points in the third quarter, 4 for 6 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, 2 assists, and he had that block on Towns at the rim. I mean, you wrote about it, or you've been talking about it, but he's a barometer for the team, and it's just like, because him and Tatum have the 2-man game. Like, a lot of the actions, you know, he's like the guy that's one pass away, and when Tatum's hunting these mismatches, and if he's going to be hitting those shots or being aggressive off guys, the other team over committing to Tatum, he has to be aggressive, and he's converting, and when he's converting, the Celtics are tough to stop, man. And he was a big part of like why they were able to respond and push the lead back out after the Knicks cut it to 3.
Just looking at the third quarter alone and looking at the score totals, Tatum 19, Derek 14, right?
And Luke Cornet 2. I think that's
Luke
it.
2. Nobody on the New York Knicks, not named Jalen Brunson, scored more points tonight than Tatum did in the third quarter. And only Campaign and who was the other guy that I saw? There was only Brunson and 2 others, including Campaign. Yeah, Josh Hart had 17. Campaign, who I can't believe they let be an impactful player at points this game.
He was like kept them alive for a bit.
Yes, I was like, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be Campaign, who's the guy that like gets added to the Zach Cox list of guys that shouldn't have cooked the Celtics but did. I was like, this is what it is today. But the fact that both of those guys basically had better scoring performances in one single 12-minute frame than the entire Knicks team did says a lot about not only the game that they played, but the Celtics as a team defending. Like, I'm sorry, Nemi had Cat in hell. Yeah, this guy Cat was in shambles, dude. Like, Nemi was DeMarcus Cousins in the picture of Cat trying to post him up. Like, that's what it was. And that's Nemi. Nemi, who's someone who's very polarizing among Celtics fans. There are a large contingency of fans that feel like he should get more minutes, but then there's also a contingency and then a lot of the people that are around the team more that really feel like he's not ready for that. Yet he's going out there and just dominating this guy who's having a career season, who's become Mr. New York. He's playing in his hometown, playing on his team. They love him. They embrace him. Cat took 8 shots today. Nemi had a snatch block on the guy. Like, this was an unbelievable performance from not only Nemi, but also Luke. We talked about Luke briefly. 7 of 7 from the field. The man is always ready when he starts.
Dude, I mean, yeah, both of them deserve props today. In a game where Porzingis is out, who's been great lately.
Surprise out, by the way.
So yeah, non-COVID illness, I think, right? I didn't even realize until the game started that he was out. Cater, man, not my favorite player. That's for sure. But he's had, and like, I try to be fair. You know, I was critical of Pritchard in the Mavs game. I've been critical of Cater throughout the season. He was fantastic tonight. At least, again, relative to expectations, but he was just straight up had a good game. And I thought early there was like, he he just like when he catches the ball on the short roll or around the rim, sometimes he just like his like equilibrium in his brain doesn't work fully properly. But then sometimes he also like he'll like should clearly dunk it and then doesn't, or he misses the dunk, but then also has some like really nice moments of touch around the basket where he's like reverse layups and stuff. So it's a bit of a ride with Cater, but he was big on the boards, and yeah, dude, he was a big reason why Towns ends the game with 9 points. You got outscored by Cater. You literally got outscored by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Celtics.
Almost me too.
Yeah, almost both of us.
I was closer to Cat than Cat was
to
Tatum
half the
or
Celtics.
Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah. Tough.
Wait,
Tough for the King of New York, for the Big Purr.
Oh, no. Yeah, Big Purr. What a nickname, Cat.
Where's the Big Purr tonight?
I want your thoughts on Brunson. And a lot of people online were pissed off today with the free throws and, the officiating or him not even jumping and stepping into Derek White at the end of the first half and kind of getting a little momentum there. I feel like the Celtics are in a position this year where they can't really cry refs because I feel like they missed too many free throws to do so. But Brunson, 13 free throws, 13 makes and he ends up with 36 points. Basically kept them alive in the first half. Was that frustrating you at the time? Do you want to guess what the Celtics rank free throw percentage wise? Like they're probably like in the top 6. Yeah, they're 8th at 79%. But they're usually much higher than that. They're usually like in the top 3. So unacceptable. They converted better tonight. But I wanted to throw my computer out the window in the first half when Jalen Brunson had 11. So 11 free throws in the first half and 8 of them came in the third quarter. And it's just a scourge on the sport when you're playing like that. It's disgusting. When you're just possession after possession hunting and foul baiting and the refs rewarded it, especially that 3-point shot that Derek White landed. And that was like something they tried to like get out of the game was the pump fake and then jump in or lean in. And it should at minimum be a side out. I don't care if you're in the bonus. Anytime someone does that, they should also like have a finger amputated. It's just I don't want to hear people complaining about too many threes when there's people like this that are not only is like lame, but it's also just like completely screws up the flow of the game. And on one hand, you're like, well, it actually kind of got the Knicks back in the game and we're professional athletes, so of course we're going to do that. So I get it from the other side, like you want to do that, and I'm the first guy to be cheering when Porzingis has 8 free throws on some of the most outrageous flops. But yeah, I wanted to claw my eyes out. And the gods will not reward this at the end. The gods, in fact, did not. Final score, one hand. I'd say Derek White literally got like his lick back in the second half. He got a 3-point foul called on the very same exact play. So it does happen both ways. But I hate the one at the end of the first half. I'm a guy that will tell you and be like, I don't even think they should call shooting fouls on jump shots unless the guy gets like killed. I think they're very like soft with it, and like I just think if you play pickup, that's not a foul. That was definitely not a foul in pickup. Like no one does that in pickup. No one because it's like no one's pump faking on jump shots to get fouls. You kick the ball out, and if you do that, everyone's just looks at you funny. And yeah, he should be embarrassed. Like he should be embarrassed. He should be embarrassed. The whole team should be embarrassed. Do you see the shot of them all sitting on the bench? They all look like sad Paul Pierce on his jersey retirement day. Good. All of them. As they should. I love it, man. So many reasons to feel good about it. 1, you're like almost certainly going to see this team in the second round. And 2, it's New York. And 3, it's like the Jalen Brunson, she's going to get first team All NBA over Tatum thing. Like it just was really good for a variety of reasons. Like just lock up the first team All NBA stuff. Like performances like this go a long way in voters' minds. Like Tatum just completely outplayed him. And it should. Like, Tatum's just much better than Brunson. It's a fact. If I'm the Knicks, I'm actually... Do you forfeit the next 2 games? Do we know what the rule is for forfeit? Like, what the final score is? Like, you'll probably have less point differential if you just forfeit. True. It's You've probably lost just a by, simple like, an average 20. Of 25 or something. That's crazy. Like, I'd be terrified. You see Lucky on the schedule? Yeah. You see
You're
that
like-
that leprechaun logo, you start shivering.
You're like, I don't know, back tightness, non-COVID illness starting to percolate.
Left
as
toe
we-
sprains all around.
Left. That's right. Right shoulder impingements across the board.
I think the shoulder thing's real for what it's worth.
Yeah, so do I. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no chance that he's missing 2 games in a row, especially in MSG, if that's not a real thing.
Well, I don't know. They didn't need him. They probably see this as like playing the Raptors. At least the Raptors beat them this year.
They need to pretend that I know. Actually, no, they don't. I'm actually becoming okay with them playing like shit against the bad teams and awesome against the good teams, because what do I care?
Yeah,
They're not gonna play any bad teams in the playoffs.
I would not trade this win for whatever January 7th game they
Yeah.
played against the Raptors or whenever it was.
Or like
when
the
they
Mavericks
lost up
game.
at Scotiabank.
I easily trade the Cavs and the Knicks games for
Yep.
the Mavs loss, and what was another bad loss recently? I don't know.
They haven't lost as many bad ones.
I know they're actually 8-4 in their last. Well, they're 9-4 in their
Houston
last
loss?
15 now. Yeah, I'll use. Well, I would trade the. No, I would keep the Knicks. The Houston one is a good team, but like the Atlanta Hawks overtime blunder.
Yeah.
That's I would easily give me that loss for the Cavs or the Knicks wins every day of the week.
Just what makes me so happy is just thinking about that. If the Celtics lost this game today, we would have had videos on Twitter of people like doing snow angels at the championship parade
Yeah.
outside MSG tonight
Yeah.
if they had beaten the Celtics in a regular
Bing
season
bong.
game. Bing bong. Well, Grimace is a Bostonian now, officially.
Okay,
They went
so
in
how it
there
works.
and cucked the Knicks, took Grimace away. Now they have Celtics Grimace.
So is Grimace their mascot?
So Grimace, the Mets, which is one of the baseball teams there,
Yes.
had
Yes.
Grimace throw out the first pitch
Okay.
at one of their games in like June. And the season for the Mets had gone very poorly up to that point. Then all of a sudden they like go on this run, they get hot, they end up
That's
going
right.
to the semifinals.
Yeah.
And Grimace is like a New York legend. Like they had people dressed as Grimace going to these games, or people as Grimace on the subway.
Okay.
Grimace has become like an unofficial New York sports mascot. They're putting
Okay,
him in
so
gyms.
It went around. It was like it wasn't just the Mets. It was such a big
Correct.
thing that now it's become. I got it, 'cause I know who the Mets are. I know that they went on a big
Yeah.
run, but I was not aware that their mascot was called Grimace. So there you go.
Now you have Celtics Grimace. Well, I will put on the
Now
screen
we
for
have
the-
got so what? So Lucky's his boss, kinda.
This is well, yeah. This is his like. I mean, this is the thing that tells the other Grimace what to do. Clearly, this is the other Grimace's daddy. Technically, in the McDonald's lore, this is his uncle, Uncle O'Grimacy. But this is now Celtics Grimace.
he's good. There we go. So the ice
Does
cream
that
machine.
impress you about us
working.
Americans that we have our own fast food lore? By the way,
Well, look, we appreciate the Hamburglar as much as probably not quite as much as the
not as
Americans.
much.
But we've got Ronald McDonald, statues rolling around. But yeah, look, they're probably slightly lower on our lore and how much we respect those figures. But I love McDonald's as much as the next guy.
I love McDonald's. I love Celtics Grimace. I'll go get a Shamrock Shake on Monday probably now.
Oh,
'Cause that's
see,
why
I'm
they made
jealous.
Celtics Grimace, is to promote that. Everyone should leave a comment and tell us how much they love this. Make sure you check out First the Floor. Go give Jake a follow on Twitter. His Twitter's right on the screen there. And check out the two of us doing a very similar show, but still different enough to watch on late night. If you
Yeah.
didn't catch it live, which you might have, and now you're here, and you're so disappointed that you watched the same show again.
Yeah.
But,
No, it's gonna be different. We'll get.
well,
some
Jake's in
different
charge of that
angles.
one.
Exactly.
So it'll be less like brain rot and talking about Grimace.
No, I think that's probably why we work well, because there was a shared brain rot going on across continents at the moment, so it works well.
Cross-continental global
Brain
brain rot.
Exactly,
Celtics community.
just like we appreciate the Hamburglar. Brain rot is universal, at least down here in Tasmania, Australia.
Well, that will do it for us. We will leave on that note. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment. Again, tell us what you thought of Celtics Knicks. Tell us how much you appreciate Uncle O'Grimacy. And hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell, because Jack, and I are here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Obviously, busy day for Jack today, so we don't have a full pod. I was busy too. Really wouldn't have worked out, but typically that is the schedule. Game recaps like these are up no matter what the day after each game, and other videos are up in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps up there. So if you give us a follow, those will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very much. Tell your friends. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll be reading your emails probably later today because we didn't do the reading on the pod because the pod didn't happen. hbtcpod@gmail.com. You know you got something to say about the Knicks. The socials are to How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube, and they're on Twitter. Jake's Twitter's at Jake Eisenberg. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.